My name is Richard Nannon, and I will be presenting an analysis of the collaterals proposed by Green Energy, a company incorporated in the U.S. state of Delaware, concerning a potential loan of 200,000 euros. As you can see here, the collateral which is being proposed consists of some personal properties of the company, real property owned by the CEO, as well as a mortgage of the company's office building. I will first be presenting a risk assessment for each of the proposed collaterals and their viability as a security for sustainable finances loan, followed by the formal requirements for perfection of the collaterals within the jurisdiction of the United States. There are a number of risks associated with the stock of micro wind turbines and mini-grids, which Green Energy has proposed as collateral. The value of these movables totals at 100,000 euro. However, the objects would not be constant given that they are replenished each time Green Energy uses them for their clients. Thereby, were these to be used as collateral, the security in question would constitute a floating charge. However, it would be advisable to consult the opinion of an independent expert to assess whether the estimated value of these technologies is accurate. These technologies may also be subject to rapid devaluation as a result of advancements within this field, with potential emergence of cheaper, more effective alternatives. Furthermore, the fact that the stock will be variable, due to the fact that the stock will be variable, the overall value of the stock of these technologies may also fluctuate. Under the US legal system, floating charges are available, and thereby it is possible to foreclose on movable, tangible assets which have been used to secure a loan. Thereby, there are legal mechanisms available for sustainable finance to seize such property in the event of Green Energy defaulting on the loan. Once the debtor has defaulted on their loan obligation under the US system, the floating charge crystallizes and transforms into a fixed charge over all movable assets available. However, there may also be a number of intangible assets which must be included in the transfer of control over these technologies, such as permits or licenses. These assets must also be capable of being transferred to sustainable finance in order to sell these technologies and recover potential losses. The liquidity of the stock of Green Energy's wind turbines and mini-grids is the area of greatest concern when analyzing the risks associated with their use as collateral. One of the main potential risks include deadweight loss, which can result from the legal and administrative costs involved with transferring the control of these assets to sustainable finance. Further deadweight loss can also be caused in the event that Green Energy defaults due to issues associated with the sustainable energy sector, which could cause multiple businesses within this industry to fail. This could result in a flooded market, as such technologies may also be used as collateral by a large number of sustainable energy businesses, or simply be sold by such businesses to avoid defaulting on other loan obligations. This means that while the value of these technologies may be 100,000 euros, the ultimate amount which may be recovered by sustainable finance may be significantly less. Thereby, there are a number of concerns when assessing the liquidity of green energy stock of wind turbines and mini grids. As such, due to the issues associated with liquidity and the uncertainty of the retainability of their value, the stock of wind turbines and mini grids may potentially be an unreliable security for sustainable finance's loan. There are also a number of risks associated with the real property valued at 200,000 euro of green energy's CEO, which has also been proposed as collateral. This constitutes an outside collateral, which is advantageous for sustainable finance, given that this asset is not owned by green energy. This means that in the event that the company becomes insolvent, other creditors would not be able to pursue this property. However, in the event that the CEO were to leave the company, the incentive for green energy to uphold its debt obligation would be limited. When it comes to the ability to foreclose on this property, its location becomes more relevant. There is no real indication of which jurisdiction this real estate is located in. This will, however, determine the laws applicable to the lender in the event of foreclosure. There may be significant differences for the rights of the creditor, as certain jurisdictions, such as Indonesia and parts of India, place strict limitations on foreign ownership. Therefore, the location of this real property must be identified and local laws thoroughly examined, which may incur additional cost. Furthermore, the location of this property could result in a currency risk, given that the applicable regulation may require the collateral to be sold for local currency. Thereby, variability of the exchange rate could also significantly impact the amount of money which could be recovered by sustainable finance in the event of a default. Regardless of the location of property, foreclosure will again result in legal and administrative fees, which will ultimately cause the amount of money recoverable by sustainable finance to be less than the current value of the property. Overall, there is again significant potential for deadweight loss, as well as certain situations where the real estate may simply not be viable as collateral. In the event that the jurisdictional issues are negligible, however, the real estate of the CEO may be a favorable security, given that in the event that green energy becomes insolvent, it will not be pursued by the company's other creditors. The office building, which green energy has proposed as collateral, also presents a number of potential risks. The office building is valued at 500,000 euros. There is, however, still an outstanding mortgage obligation to a different financial institution valued at 150,000 euros. Thereby, the amount recoverable constitutes approximately 350,000 euros. At first glance, the value is easily quantifiable. However, in the event that the company fails, there may be a number of creditors which could potentially pursue liquidation of this asset to recover their losses. It would therefore be highly advisable to ensure that no other liens are attached to this property by consulting the public registry. Furthermore, there may be certain hidden liens which would not be ascertainable, as these would not form a part of the public record, such as, for example, tax liens. In such an event, it is unlikely that sustainable finance would be capable of fully recovering the money owed by green energy. The United States system is, however, highly developed and protective of creditors' rights, meaning that foreclosure should be reasonably straightforward. Overall, the office building would be the most favorable form of collateral, given that it involves the least amount of risk. Furthermore, since the potential value of the office building far exceeds the amount of money loaned to green energy, the likelihood of sustainable finance recovering potential losses is significantly greater. Perfection of the proposed collateral will be governed by the Uniform Commercial Code, given that green energy is based in the United States. Article 9, Section 312A stipulates that a security may be perfected by way of filing on chattel paper and investment. Under the US system, the formal requirements for perfection involve filing of the relevant financial statements under the Uniform Commercial Code. Overall, based on the analysis of the proposed collateral, sustainable finance is advised to secure the loan to green energy with the office building. In the event that there are no jurisdictional limitations concerning the CEO's private property, this may also be included as a security to mitigate the potential risks associated with hidden liens or green energy's other creditors. The micro wind turbines and mini-grids would, however, be an unreliable security and would ultimately be unlikely to cover much of the potential losses of sustainable finance in the event of a default.